All right, let me get to Chris Dimakos. Chris is our CJAD 800 legal contributor. Chris, are you a Kiefer Sutherland fan, or were you?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan,
okay,
but we're still buddies, right? We still talk like we're buddies.
Yeah, but you're not like a Hollywood celebrity, so that doesn't count. But no, I've just, usually I've done obviously a lot of these interviews over the years. Some people, they're here to pitch something or for whatever, it's a new movie. He just it was like sitting in a living room at home. Hey, how you been? What's going on? I just love that about him. So I thought it was great. Anyway, listen, that's not what we do, because you actually come here with news and information, by the way, that comes in really handy. I've gotten, texts from people thanking you. I think I tell you this sometimes, for passing on information or letting them know they were in a certain situation. So good for you. And I want to touch upon this today. I'll start at the bottom. The question is, how do you negotiate employment contracts, right, for a job when you don't have traditional leverage that comes with a hot job market? And you ask that question because you point out that hot job market that we might have talked about a few years ago, that's gone, and you obviously have fewer and fewer choices. So it would seem to me you lose some power that way, right?
Right, but here's the thing that people don't understand. I get even with people who are in the HR field who do hiring for a living. They say it's really difficult out there. But I'll tell you this: the job market right now is not good. There's 3 unemployed Canadians for every job vacancy right now in Canada. U.S. came out with data today. It's horrible in the U.S. as well. The salary increases are at an all-time low. There's substantial increases in freezes. And someone might say, well, this is the worst time to be looking for a job. And I would say to you, it's the best time. And the reason why it's the best time, it's the equivalent of real estate. You don't want to buy real estate when values are at an all-time high. You want to buy that home when it hit its low. And then you're going to experience the growth that comes with that following. So same thing with the job. If you get hired by a company when there are 3 Canadians for every vacancy, that says a lot about how much the company values you as a candidate. So if you get a job in these conditions, it's gonna grow into something that's gonna be really worth your time. So at these times when you're going through, if you're looking for a job and you're negotiating and you're going through interviews, I always tell everyone this: don't worry about that salary, because right now we're at a low. Interest rates are probably going to come down. The inflation is down, and so is the unemployment's up. That means they're going to make cuts. Companies are going to grow. Companies are going to start making more money. And if you're at the right spot at the right time, you're going to grow with them as well. So what you want to negotiate is, sometimes the salary might not be exactly what you want it to be, but negotiate opportunity. Negotiate what your job title is going to be. Negotiate performance bonuses that might not be there now, but will be there in 24 months. So at times like this, I would say it's a great time to be looking for the right opportunities, because if companies end up selecting you, that really says a lot about how much they value who you are, given how many candidates want that job.
So I have 2 questions. Number one, can you remember a time when we were last in a situation like this?
You know what? I could tell you this, that we've always had ups and downs. There's no question about it. But I could tell you from my personal experience, I haven't seen this many different parts of our economy align themselves the way they are right now, where you have, this increase in unemployment and job losses, and you have this new tariff situation that we're dealing with, which is unprecedented, and you have inflation, which is low. It's just almost a perfect storm for companies that are scared to invest, and what that means is they're making cuts and they're freezing salaries and they're letting go of staff. So if someone is posting a job right now, it's because it's critical to their function. And if you get that job, they value you a lot. So I tell everyone, sometimes it's these types of scenarios where you everywhere you look, it's not good, but those are the ones that can grow into something really special. And if you're there while the company starts its climb up, well, then 2-3 years from now, you're going to be in a great position to be able to negotiate a substantial increase in your compensation package.
Yeah, of course, we don't know what the future holds, right? We don't know if now this is the beginning of things getting worse, or whether we're reaching the tail end of that, right?
That's also very true as well. There's no question about that. It can keep getting worse. But usually when a company is hiring at this point in time, it's sometimes when things are going really, really, really well, they'll hire more than they need to make sure the work gets done, and then they'll just slash jobs after that work gets done. But when all the indicators are pointing down, and a company is still hiring, there's no guarantee, but more often than not, that looks like a job with a company that has a need for it, and there might be some staying power there. But again, nothing's guaranteed.
I wonder too, when you said that, and it's worth repeating again, Canada has more than 3 unemployed workers for every job opening. I mean, that seems kind of like shocking in a sense. And this is happening, by the way. I know if you heard Pierre Poilievre earlier today talking about this idea of, forgetting about temporary foreign workers and closing that loophole because they're taking jobs from Canadians. And the question then becomes, are these people looking for work or do they just not want to work? I mean, I don't even know how we know.
Well, they have all these figures and data in terms of the labor participation rate, but the truth is we had a significant increase in our population, and because of that, we're dealing with some of those growing pains right now, and one of those, obviously, is the economy, and it doesn't help that a lot of these jobs right now, a lot of companies are just uncertain about what it's going to look like in Canada. Like you said before, nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
We don't know where that low is going to be, so they might be on standby, but if you look at what governments are doing, they're trying to police this and govern this. Like in Ontario next year, for example, there's a whole bunch of laws coming out with regards to transparency with job postings. You have to know what that position entails in terms of salary, a lot of transparency that wasn't there before. So they're trying to kind of help the employee by giving them more information and arming them with more information about the jobs that they're seeking. But the truth is, the real problem is that we have, too many people for the jobs that are there. We need to create more jobs. That would help out the population the most. But that being said, for anyone who's driving right now and you're in that position where either you don't think you have a future at the position you are right now, or you might be looking for a job right now, it's time to maybe make a move and try to find that right opportunity, because you're right. We don't know what the future holds, but in times like this, if you do find that right spot, I've seen people who are at the right place at the right time within a company, and they grew with the company exponentially. And 5 years down the road, they occupy a position that has a tremendous amount of responsibility and the compensation that follows with that.
But by the way, if I can ask, this whole temporary foreign workers and the idea being that, these people are taking jobs from Canadians, at least that's one viewpoint. Do you work with any clients who use temporary foreign workers? And if you do, what's their reaction with respect to we need more, we need less?
Yeah, on the personal side, I haven't
Okay.
run into that myself personally with who I'm working with. But what I have run into from the employers that I've spoken to is that when they post a job, they have record numbers of applicants. That's what they have told me. And, there's no shortage of applicants for the positions that they offer. Are they qualified? Sometimes they're not. But one thing they've all told me was, in the past, 5 years, 6 years ago, they would place a job posting and they would get, 5, 6, 7 applicants. Now they're getting, if not in the tens or even sometimes over 100 applicants for one position. So there's no shortage of applicants. And, a lot of times, if you don't scream off that CV page and say, interview me, you might get overlooked. So there's a lot of competition in terms of the first level. But once you get through, if you can get through, there is some interesting opportunities that I can get.
Okay. Chris Dimakos, our CJAD 800 legal contributor and friend of Kiefer Sutherland. Chris, thank you very much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Take care.